There's the blatant evil, the evil that is in your face, the evil, you know, that anyone can see that is evil, right? You know, crazy, deranged, murder, killers, people that just commit violations upon another human being before the eyes of God. I'm not even talking about before the eyes of the laws of man. I'm talking about just plain evil, right? And then there's the covert evil, the evil that appears to be benevolent, the evil that prays and manipulates the humble hearts of those that perceive all of the superficial benevolent acts of that inner evil as something good, as something that's not the plain evil that is out and about, that you can clearly identify at a superficial level, right? The latter is even more insidious than the first one. That covert evil is the true evil behind all evil. That covert evil, again, remember, this is not against flesh and blood. These are principalities and strongholds, okay? These are entities. These are beings that far outdo us in time, in existence, and in power, without the power that we have in Christ, okay? But through Christ, they are beneath us. But again, it's not against other mankind or other human beings, okay? This evil is the covert evil that will host and manipulate mankind. This covert evil will utilize its host to perform acts of good acts that look to the plain eye, look like they're acts of kindness, acts of well-being, but in reality, deep inside, what they're doing is they're manipulating the perception of humble hearts, humble and immature, spiritually immature hearts, in order to drive them more into the devil's system. Okay? So you have the evil that you can clearly see, and you have the covert evil that preys upon the humble hearts and immaturity of individuals that have a heart called by the Father, okay? And you will see this being very, very noticeable once the Father starts to open your eyes. And the church movement, specifically, I have a great deal of experience in these United States when it comes to the church movement, the churchianity movement. And I don't care where you go to church. I don't care where you go to church, because I've been in pretty much a good amount of them, and they have a flavor of ice cream for everybody. Okay? If you find yourself following a man that leads you into a building in order to find fellowship, in order to find that meaning, to feel that hole that your soul is yearning for, which is Christ and should be Christ alone, you are being led covertly by an evil into a trap of deception in order to be driven further into the devil's system. And I know that sounds crazy, right? Oh, how is it that you're being... If a man knows that he's getting involved with this devil system in order to create his own church, and obviously, yeah, good things happen in church, right? That's the idea, right? The idea is that if you're going to church, you're a good person for the most part. You're trying to do better things in life. That's the idea. But any man that is driving you more into the systems that have been in place, that drive you away, religion, that drive you away from an actual relationship with your Creator, one-on-one. Remember, there is no one greater among us other than the Messiah himself. There is no one greater among us other than Christ and obviously the Father. Any man that puts himself high up on a steeple, okay, and acts like he doesn't want the praise, but bring it, he doesn't want it, but you got to respect him as such. Any man that's claiming titles given by man here on earth, it's not leading you towards Christ. And the sooner you realize this, the sooner you wake up and see the truth. And when you find that truth, you realize that there is no greater pasture on the other side, that the greener pasture is only found within you, because Christ tells you the kingdom of heaven is within you. And the only place that you find Christ is right there where you're at. Not in a group of individuals, not following individuals' ideologies, not seeking others for their approval, not seeking that fellowship. The fellowship will come once everyone is one in Christ. But if the man that's leading you into that building is not willing to lay down everything that he has built, when the Spirit of the Father comes in conviction, if that man loves his properties, if that man loves everything that he has gained with his wits, with his logic and his hands, more than the Spirit of the Father, that man is not worthy of the Father. Christ himself tells us that any man that loves anything, including our family or children, is not worthy of him. And there is a good reason for that. Because we do not know, as sinful flesh, we do not know what love is. We do not know what's valuable if we do not know the Father, the Creator. So therefore, we must put him first above all things, so that then we can learn how to love ourselves, and as a consequence, learn how to love others. Any man leading you into a building, it's only manipulating you to utilize you and your humility and your ignorance to build his kingdom of man. That man's not building in the kingdom of heaven. Bless you guys.